Good morning. In 1954, President Dwight D. Eisenhower signed a bill proclaiming November 11th as Veterans Day and called upon Americans everywhere to rededicate themselves to peace. Today's assembly is to honor veterans. When Francis Scott Key wrote the Star-Spangled Banner in 1814, he called America the land of the free and the home of the brave. Those words are as true today as they were then. Throughout this nation's history, Americans have bravely answered the call to defend our freedom, to aid our friends and allies, and to turn back aggressors. We can never fully repay our debt of gratitude to the more than 650,000 American service members who died in battle, or the 1.4 million who were wounded. We can, however, recognize and thank the 25 million veterans still living today. Please stand for the posting of the colors by our junior ROTC students, Andrew Brewer, Jake Mueller, Taylor Luca, Tiara Aran, and William Flatt. We ask that you remain standing for our national anthem that will be performed by the GCHS Jazz Band and the Pledge of Allegiance that will be led by Cadet Lieutenant Colonel David Collins. We ask that you remain standing until the color guard has left the floor.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Testing, yay. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for having such respect for our veterans this morning, for having such good listening skills today. We're really proud of that, and we hope that you continue that for the next 30 minutes as our wonderful Fine Arts Department entertains you, and we honor some of the best people in the whole world. So, what I'd like for you to know next is that originally released by country artist Lee Greenwood in 1984, God Bless the USA has become one of the most popular patriotic songs of all time. Expressing a profound appreciation for our nation and our blessings, the song should cause us to all reflect upon the pride we feel as Americans. The GCHS Jazz Band, under the direction of Mr. Richard Burchett, featuring Harold Manklickmott, will now perform God Bless the USA. Here at our Veterans Day program, we choose a special person to honor as kind of our veteran of distinction. And we chose this year Mr. James Tackett, who is a World War II veteran. And we're going to ask him to just be introduced to you now. If Mr. Sloan, if you'll just roll him out here with us so we can see Mr. Tackett. And Mr. Tackett, we would love for you to stay up here while student Emily Cornwell shares your story with the audience today. So we're just so honored and blessed that you're here today, and can't wait to hear this story. Thank you.
If anyone needed to give a short description of Mr. James Tackett, they could satisfy the requirement with only one word: Guts. The 91-year-old Dublin resident stands proudly in a line of Graves County's veterans who served their country in extraordinary ways during extraordinary times. He came of age in the middle of World War II, enlisting in the United States Army immediately after graduation, and soon after attended a rigorous basic training at Camp Blanding in Florida. In the spring of 1944, he was shipped overseas to join the fight. Mr. Tackett joined a new company that had already seen the war's longest stretch of fighting during the invasions of the Boot of Italy. He was told his new unit's original members had been reduced by casualties to only 8. He had been a member of his platoon for no more than 2 days when he found himself neck-deep in battle with an M1 rifle, and he remembers the battle with intensity and clarity. He remembers cautiously patrolling to the right of his squad sergeant in a miserable rain and finding himself in a point-blank staring match with the German infantry on a hedgerow. To this day, he retains the most vivid memories of the chaos that followed and later earned him a Purple Heart for being wounded in combat. He turned to run for cover through what he hoped would be a safe concealment back in a blanket of fog. But shortly into his sprint, the ground around his feet exploded in a fury of machine gun bullets. Not a scratch of lead ever found its mark. Mr. Tackett has said, "No one is going to believe me, but I was waiting machine gun bullets and not one of them touched me. If the gunner would have just raised the barrel up a little, he would have cut me in two." It was only when he thought he had cleared the danger did he hear the single rifle shot that tore into his lower back and dropped him instantly. He rolled into an irrigation ditch and reached for his helmet that had been knocked off. His motion drew another shot that ripped through the top of the helmet, again knocking it off, but leaving his head unscathed. He says, "Believe it if you want, but I smelled the lead. I slowly eased my hand up to feel my head, but there wasn't a drop of blood. The good Lord was with me." As he lay there, the Carlisle County farm boy remembers talking to himself and saying these words exactly. When he was found, he still had his small, steel-cased Bible his mother had given him before he left home. He realized his fighting days, and probably all else, would be on hold until the unforeseeable future. His experience began a grueling and fearsome series of adventures that would call for all the grit this country boy could muster. Mr. Tackett is with us today, and it's our privilege to have him as our featured veteran this year. As you can see from the experiences you just heard, he is deeply deserving of this recognition today. Mr. James Tackett.
Thank you. To further honor the brave men and women who served and are now serving in the military, the Graves County High School Symphony Orchestra, under the direction of Miss Laura Hill, will perform Armed Forces Salute. This medley includes the official songs of the Navy and Coast Guard, the Air Force, the Marines, and the Army. As each hymn is played, please stand if you served or if you have active or veteran family members in that branch.
Today, it is our privilege to say thank you to all American veterans, to let them know that we appreciate them for their service and honor them for their sacrifices. The Impossible Dream from Man of La Mancha, performed today by Ethan Murphy and Andrew Durham, describes the incredible dedication and sacrifices of the selfless hero. As they sing, we would like to recognize some of our veterans who are part of our Eagle friends and family. Please hold your applause until the end of the performance.
To dream the impossible dream, to fight the unbeatable foe, to bear with unbearable sorrow, to run where the brave dare not go, to right the unrightable wrong, to love pure and chaste from afar, to try when your arms are too weary, to reach the unreachable star. This is my quest, to follow that star, no matter how hopeless, no matter how far, to fight for the right without question or pause, to be willing to march into hell for a heavenly cause. And I know if I'll only be true to this glorious quest, then my heart will lie peaceful and calm when I'm laid to my rest. And the world will be better for this, that one man scorned and covered with scars still strove with his last ounce of courage to reach
Thank you for your service. In the years since the Civil War, the Battle Hymn of the Republic has been used frequently as an American patriotic song. This song is usually heard at the national conventions of both the Republican and Democratic parties and is often sung at presidential inaugurations. Please join me in welcoming back the GCHS Jazz Band to perform it now.
While Veterans Day is primarily a tribute to our country's living veterans, and Memorial Day is typically a tribute for troops that have fallen, it is always appropriate to include a moment of silence in respect for those who gave their lives for our country. The bugle call of taps began as a signal for lights out at the end of the day. However, the playing of taps continues to be part of military funerals and memorial ceremonies. Please stand at this time for a brief moment of silence and the playing of taps by Ryan Courtney in memory of our fallen troops. Thank you. You may be seated. At this time, we want to once again give a very heartfelt thank you to Mr. Tackett and to all of our veterans that joined us today and even those that didn't. So at this time, students and teachers, let's give our veterans one more loud round of applause. We also probably need to show our appreciation for our students that performed today. They did an outstanding job. Thank you to all of our students that performed. At this time, that is the conclusion of our assembly. We will dismiss back to second period class. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.